Looking to get an offer from medical school this year, you're probably going to need some work experience. My name's Faraz Jamil. I'm a third year medical student at the University of Cambridge, and today I'm going to tell you all about the work experience that you need to get into medical school. So first of all, I'm going to tell you a bit about what work experiences I did, and these work experiences got me offers from the University of Cambridge, Imperial, King's and St George's University, London. So I first of all did a work experience at the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital for about 5 days. This was essentially me shadowing orthopaedic surgeons. I learnt a lot about the job of being a surgeon, and I watched quite a few cool surgeries like spinal fusions. Now the way I got this work experience was by entering an essay competition, and I believe they selected around 5 students out of 1,000. So this one was quite hard to get, but I ended up getting it. The second work experience I did was through my school. Every single Friday throughout lower sixth form, I would volunteer at a special needs school, and essentially for about an hour and a half every Friday, I would read to the children and also just help organize the school's afternoon activities. The next work experience I did was 3 days at the Royal Brompton Hospital in London, which is a cardiothoracic specialist hospital. There again, I watched quite a few cool surgeries, got to talk to the surgeons, and this experience I got by emailing about 40 different surgeons around the UK, and eventually one hospital replied to me and was like, you can come work here. So those are the work experiences I did and how I got each of them, as well as a research placement I did over summer in the summer of year 12, but that's probably less necessary. Now I'm going to tell you about the different types of work experience I think there are, and I'm going to tell you a bit about how useful I think each is. So the first type of work experience is the traditional shadowing a doctor. I think this is quite an important type of work experience to have, as it gives you a good talking point in your personal statement, and it's also something that can be quite useful in interviews in terms of things like modelling NHS values, and as well as just to yourself, understanding why you want to study medicine and be a doctor. The second type of work experience is something voluntary. This can include volunteering with elderly people, disabled people, volunteering at a local pharmacy to help out. I think this type of work experience is also really good in terms of showing your connection with the more human side of medicine, especially in terms of your personal statement, and also in interviews it can be quite useful to show that you have that more hands-on community experience, actually having a role yourself. Another really good one you can do is volunteering for St John's Ambulance as a first aider. I think that's a really good job to have, and I think that's something that could go quite a long way. The next type of work experience is more of a traditional job. So this can be something like working at McDonald's, working at a pharmacy. This obviously is a bit less relevant directly to medicine, but you can still draw on your experiences, so I wouldn't say it's useless, but at the same time I wouldn't say it's a priority. The last type of work experience I'd call like high level work experience, which is something like a research placement or just something more advanced like that, or possibly working in a hospital as a clerk or something like that. This type of work experience is probably the most impressive if you can pull it off, but it's also really difficult to get, so I wouldn't stress too much unless you have quite good contacts or you know a way of getting such work experience. Now, in terms of getting work experience, what I recommend you do is either using your school's contacts, if your school has good contacts, or looking around your own parents' net of friends and seeing if they have any contacts. If that doesn't work, and what I personally did for my work experiences, is apply through hospitals' online programs if you can find them. I'd recommend sticking to hospitals that are local to you purely for the sake of convenience, and also some hospitals may have a catchment area policy with regards to who they accept for work experience. And the last option, which is how I got the Royal Brompton work experience, is just email as many hospitals and consultants as you can find in your local area and hope that one replies. Not all hospitals have an official work experience program that they run, but if you may get lucky, a consultant may want to take you on. For this, you'd have to create a CV to look presentable, and you'd have to present yourself quite well. But I think this is a really good way to get work experience, and it also makes for a good story if you talk about it at interview or in your personal statement. Now, the last thing I'm going to tell you a bit about is what I really think the point of work experience is. First and foremost, I think work experience is a really good way for you to understand why you want to be a doctor, and indeed if you actually want to be a doctor. And after that work experience, the main purpose it serves is in your personal statement. It's something to talk about, it's something to reflect on, it's something that makes you unique, and it's something that can really make you stand out if you talk about it in a good way. And the other use of work experience is it's useful in interviews. For example, in MMI interviews, it may ask you to give an example of teamwork or teamwork role-playing scenario. And in that case, work experience can really help contextualize those scenarios and help you give strong answers that eventually will hopefully help you get the offer. But I think the main thing you have to remember with the work experience is it's not about stacking up as many work experiences as possible. It's more about having quality experiences that you can write about and talk about. Because you have to remember, your UCAS personal form, you aren't submitting all your work experiences as a list of certificates. The only real evidence your universities have of your work experience is your statement and your interviews. So therefore, I recommend doing work experiences that actually interest you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you're subscribed if you're applying to medicine this year, because I've got lots of great BMAT videos coming up, as well as more general videos about applying to medicine, as well as interviews when they come up. Thank you for watching, and please make sure you're subscribed.